Welcome to the Riders Lounge. I'm Mark Fawcett.
And I'm Shane Johnson.
And on today's show, our top 5 plus powder boards.
Because we don't want to make the angry guy angry, so we got to add 2.
Okay.
There we go. All right, Fozzie, so we had a lot of debate around, well, these are hard. These are hard. It's hard to narrow down. There's this many companies. There's this many boards we ride every season. This is not easy, and it's a ton of dialogue. Even today, we all got here. We've been talking for another hour on more boards, and we forgot about brand X and brand Y, and it was like, oh, I rode this 3 years ago. But we're trying to be concise. These are current boards. We rode them a lot. But these are accessible powder boards.
Exactly.
We brought up Gentum Stick earlier.
There's brands like that, and then even a lot of much smaller brands that are like uber custom and tricked out, and they're just, again, they're not.
It's a different episode.
It's a different episode. They're not exact. These are like go to your snowboard shop. You will find 2 or 3 of these in every shop easily, and they rip in POW, at the resort in POW. Cat or Hellying, all these boards will work fantastic in that environment as well. But all of these boards, you hit a cat track, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might even have like a ton of fun still on them.
Yeah, these things are still going to carve really well.
Carve,
in some
cases, side hits, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We see what Worm's doing on one of the boards.
That's what I was just going to say. In some cases, these really do cross over into a lot of aspects of riding, but absolutely will destroy on a powder day.
Yes.
And that's where that's where the final focus was.
Yep.
If we were headed to Japan, these were going to be the top 5 plus 1
that
or 2.
we could go upstairs and just grab one.
Yep, and head out. So, we'll start with
number
1. So this one should be no surprise coming from me. It's one of my top 3 snowboards of all time. I freaking love the Korua Pencil. I have a 5.9 and constantly ride this board.
I think this might be one of our most popular. This is probably the most popular directional snowboard up at our local ski hill.
Yeah, yeah.
We sold a ton of them. All the directional shredders love this thing. Obviously, we out west here where we are in Nelson, BC, we do get a lot of POW. So it absolutely shreds that to death. All this nose, of course, it's a classic nose shape from way back in the day. My Sims 1710 blade, I think, pretty much had this exact
had a very
nose.
Similar, yes.
But it works, of course. Lots of setback, little mini half moon swallow out the back. The classic really nice Korua construction. So good value.
And the new top sheet too on this one, the brush top sheet.
The brush top sheet, but good value on these boards. For how well they're constructed, really good value. I always like to talk about the orange base, but I'm colorblind.
It's red. You get a very premium sintered base though on these, like a sintered 8000 that we'd find on Jones.
Yeah.
The more you wax them, the harder they get. The common theme you'll see with all these boards too is going to be the profile is going to be similar in most everything we talk about. All these boards will have camber. We want that ability to attack anything choppy and grab. They're going to have a lot of taper, but where most of these boards are also going to have big volume nose, but a little bit of reverse, or at least a flat spot throughout before we hit that.
A really long transition.
Just to give us lift.
From going from camp where the camber ends and the lift starts, long blends there, of course, give you a smooth lift. Also, when you're up high on edge in the powder or on the groomer, you don't want a kinky spot. So the pencil comes in 5 sizes actually. So they make almost a kid's one, a 138 all the way up to a 164. The taper on these, it scales up as you go up. There's more and more taper. So the smallest one has 24 mils or 2.4 centimeters of taper. And then as you progress your way up through the line, it kind of just gets a little bit bigger and bigger up to the largest board's got 29 mils of taper.
So this might be the,
Quite a bit of
this
taper.
is quite a bit. This may be the most on our list. We'll see. But this thing still carves like a beast too. So as you guys know, I ride the 5'9", me being 5'8", 155 pounds. You'd think that might be a little bit big. It's not at all. You ride these, most of these boards we're going to talk about, you're going to ride bigger.
You're probably going to upsize on
Yeah.
almost all of these boards.
Volume,
just
volume
by
and
like
powder. You
just
want
by
volume.
one. Yeah, you totally
You
want
want
it.
volume.
Surface area.
On to number 2. All right, so number 2, Capita Navigator, of course, the evolution of the Charlie Slasher. We have a really detailed episode on this one too. You should check out with Tony Lefroy, the local rep. He gets into the guts of this board heavily. But things I love about this and a lot of the Capitas in this kind of category, their Resort V2 directional shaping. That's similar to what we just talked about. But again, another board with really solid camber. But we get into these flat zones before we get into the kick. So even when you settle down on the tail of this board, it wants to come up, and obviously I always ride this thing back seat. You're going to see most of the insert patterns we should mention are set back, varying degrees of setback. We won't get into all that. But again, tapered board. How much taper is this one?
This one has, well, the smallest, there's 5 sizes. The smallest one has 11 millimeters. And as you go up in size, and it makes sense, you know, you're scaling as per effective edge by percentage, so it's all the same. And as you get up to the 167, this is a 64, and this has 14 mils. 67 has 15 millimeters.
Millimeters of taper.
Millimeters of taper, yeah.
The other thing with this, and it was on the Black Death last year too, is this ash top sheet. We both really like this. The properties of it, it's a little, I hate using the word damp with this because it's not like Mervyn damp. It's a little different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different damp. It does get rid of the high frequency buzz.
Exactly.
Gets rid of the high frequency buzz, but it's got a ton of snap. And I've said this before, like a proper wood veneer, it's Mother Nature's composite.
Yeah.
Man, like the way the fibers line up in a tree compared to how we manufacture them, they work really well. And I have Vaughn boards. That my Kazoo that I adore
that Kazoo
has this same top sheet. Like I got a bunch of boards with wood veneer top sheets that are like all pretty much my favorites.
Yeah.
So yeah, they of course have kept that detail on this board. I loved the way this board foot steers really well. That's one of the things I found. It's not
Torsionally crazy.
It's not torsionally crazy, and in POW, man, like I'm all about like I'll crank that front foot and like leave the tail going and just like steer that front around, and really cool in the POW.
And another one in the series like we're talking about, this board still carves like a beast. Like it's a killer POW board, but it's got that parabolic side cut too. And this thing grips. It really, really carves. Really long entry here, which it's got an 8 on the entry. So it just gives you a lot of stability when you're in the chunder or a cat tracker. Who knows what you're going to encounter on a big POW day.
And because it has, I mean, and you want a lot of non-effective nose up there. Well, in the powder, it's all effective because the whole thing's in there.
Yeah,
but,
it becomes
but
the big
essentially,
spoon.
yeah, you have a bigger nose. Because of that, I do size up on this as well. This would be my board, the 164.
And I'd go 161.
And like
so
for instance,
keep that in mind.
On my Kazoo, I'm a 161 wide, and I'm on the 64 on this.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're on to number 3. This one, I got to spend a lot of time on this exact board here, 57. Again, like we've been saying, you'd want to size up. I would maybe still consider sizing up this, but the next size up was 62, which is more Fawcett's range. So I stuck to the 5.7, and it was killer. This board was absolutely fine, probably because it's got so much taper as well.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a full centimeter of taper on these, and it again varies between the 3 sizes of 57, 62, and 65 wide.
Yeah.
On this one, definitely 62 for me is great. And these things are lively, not buzzy again, but like they got a lot of life, a lot of energy returned back to them, which I loved. And that's they got a nice camber line. There's wouldn't say a lot of camber, but a nice long camber on this. So they have some early rise in there, but it's not psycho. Of course, the more early rise you put in, the less energy return you get out of the board.
And this one, does this one spoon a little bit in the nose there too?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah.
We
No,
should.
I remember from riding.
Yeah,
too.
it's.
So
Oh
it's
no,
like-
it totally does.
Yeah,
like, I mean, you can
these-
see it easily.
And that's, I think, really helped this thing just roll in super, super nice. Because I had a heavy POW day at Salmo, like it wasn't great POW. It was a typical
hot-
Salmo
hot
day.
POW.
Hot POW. It was heavy, and this was my winner of that day of riding. But yeah, it's we
The
definitely
Alpha,
should
the
mention
Alpha,
that.
I think,
Yeah.
has a really similar nose to this. And yeah, I love them. They're light too. The other interesting thing is this is the Beta APX.
So more
version.
carbon in this one.
Yeah,
yep.
just more bells and whistles. A really cool half cap on this.
Yeah,
which
if
is,
you guys can
which
see
is
that.
nice. So,
Thinner sidewalls.
Yep.
Really, really cool.
and then the standard Beta is still a great board. Standard sidewalls, a few less bells and whistles in the
A
construction.
little softer, yeah.
Yep, but yeah, these
I'd be
are
going
great.
here for sure, though. It was just so snappy and responsive, but surfy at the same time. If
Yep.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, exactly. Like the camber's got pop. The nose, the way it's spooned and everything is super forgiving and
Totally
surfy.
fuzzy, yeah.
Really super
No, I've been
fun. They've done
impressed with everything Nidecker's
Nidecker's been
building.
putting out really
Yeah.
good stuff lately for sure.
So that was an easy number 3. We're on to number 4, Jones Hovercraft. Jones
2.0.
2.0. And I mean, Jones had 5 POW boards, really, that we were like, I love this, I love that, I love that. This, for our crew, is a clear winner, though. Hover, just because our riding styles, all of our background in kind of mixing carving and, again, this is the accessible board where you may be only buying one board this season.
Yes, yes.
So, but as a POW board, oh my God, this thing is it's
Good.
nuts.
It's kind of, I would say, even though it's got these like really long, clean lines, like it's kind of their more aggressive one. It's got a straighter side cut. There's like no speed limit on this thing really, especially for how kind of short the tail would be. Yeah, I love this concept, this shape. Of course, this is, sort of the one of the very first boards that went volume shifted,
Yep.
they would call it, where this was the first time people were like, oh, we actually are going to downsize. We're going to have more float and on a smaller board.
Yeah, it is the one case where I'm probably riding a 56 and I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm down. I go down on this one. I
Yeah,
go downsize on the hover.
But this is a funny board because Fozzie could take this to a bank slalom and crush it.
It's one
without
it,
question.
It has one Baker
yeah,
and a couple border crosses.
but without question, this would be in the sort of top 3 I'd be considering to go to Japan or go to BALDFACE or. It's just, and it's so damn versatile. And then the 2.0 features, we've kind of talked to this one to death, but it's got like these little rudder system, fin
Little
system.
channels in there,
Little
it's sort of
channels to
funnel.
hook up in the back.
Yeah.
But lots of taper, but not crazy taper. What's the taper on this
The
guy?
taper's
was?
17 mils.
Yeah, so that's
quite a bit.
Similar to the Navigator.
The Mind Expander actually has more.
Which we'll
Which is funny,
talk
but we'll
about
talk about
later.
it later, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Fozzie's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
ahead of himself. there.
Yeah. But 17, I mean.
It's kind of common
compared-
in a lot of these
I would
ones.
say, for sure, in general, a lot of the free ride, all mountain free ride boards and such we like, directional free ride boards we like, have between 4 and 9 mils of taper.
Yeah,
Like not 10. Once you start getting to 10 mils and above, then you're talking pretty much more powder boards.
And this is set back again. I don't know if they actually call it the float pack on this one, but this board is quite a bit set back. Again, like Fawcett said with a lot of the other ones, we got a lot of volume up front, and we're cambered into a rocker.
It's a really nice blend here.
Yeah,
Super
so reversed
long,
right there, yeah,
long
yeah.
blend because of the slightly straighter side cut. This and how they don't want to pinch in tight to the nose. This line is so long. It's like such a good transition when you roll it over. Doesn't dig in, doesn't purl, doesn't, it's very predictable at the beginning of your turns.
It's a profile common to all these boards we're kind of talking about. Again, we've got our camber into our reverse, big shovel front end, lots of taper. Those are the magic ingredients for powder boards.
Yep,
They really are.
And 3D contour base up front.
Yes, yeah.
So this front end is like super forgiving and easy to roll and forgiving. and then you get into the meat of the board, and with that like slightly straighter side cut, like you can really stand on this thing.
Watch Worm ride this thing in powder. You'll know what we're talking about.
It's insane.
It's like, it's nuts. We got a 144, 48, 52, 56, 60, and a 64. Jones is pretty committed to a lot of sizing. It's going to get the gals, smaller dudes, all the way up to the Sasquatch homies. No problem. All right, we're on to number 5. Okay, well, this one's already sold upstairs. We don't have it. But, I mean, this is a pro model of a guy that smashes pillows like a beast. What do they call him? The Froth Goblin?
Yep, he's unbelievable. Like,
You know what we're
such a great
talking about. It's
rider.
the Mayhem Sweefish. This board is, again, it falls in line with the similar profile.
Absolutely.
A lot of taper.
Yep. Yeah, 17 mils of taper on it.
Which is kind of the magic
That's-
thing
yeah.
where a lot of these boards are
Yep.
falling in. Mervin construction, so that kind of dampness that I was talking about that I see in the nav, but Mervin style, which is
The Mervins
in powder. I
The
love
Mervins
it.
are really damp. They will still give you that like that big wave energy return. You will still get it, but everything else is just silent.
Yeah, it's just, they have a vibe. I can't really explain the construction of it, but I've been riding Mervins for damn near 30
I mean, it's
years.
between
and-
somewhere
yeah.
lies between like how they do their core and the resin they use.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with that
But they're
resin, I
like
swear.
for sure. When people ask, I like damp boards, it's just like straight to Mervin for sure.
But I love seeing that Austin got to design something like this, because this is like his all mountain board is killer. The rig is awesome, but this just, if you're going to smash powder, this board it has to be on your radar of discussion. No
Absolutely.
question.
This would be similar, you know, a straight across sizing. So they have 3 sizes:
Three,
a
yeah.
150, a 56, and a 162. I'd probably be on the 62. You'd probably be on the 56.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't think you'd be on the 50.
No. That's going to be a lot of the gals, or we've got some smaller dudes in the
Yeah.
shop. Maybe potentially
Yeah.
would ride that, but I'd even consider going even up on that one just as a dedicated power board.
Just
If
for
it was just my
62.
powder board, I would go full size in that.
Wow.
I'm curious what Austin actually is riding in
Yeah.
that one, because
Yeah.
he tends to ride big boards too. He's
Yeah.
usually on a 5.9.
I've seen him on a Doughboy shredder doing
Well,
big,
to that too.
spinning big threes.
But
Yeah.
that board kind of was a no-brainer. Yeah, just a wicked addition to Mervin's lineup. this year.
100%. Yeah.
For sure. So now we got to get into the +1, the +2, the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
The Jones discussion was so tough. I mean, so tough this year because half the crew's just like, no, it's this or it's this. Fozzie alluded to it earlier. It's the Mind Expander, which does have more taper.
Actually has more taper. Probably not less surface area back there because it doesn't have the little half moon cutout and such. So it's probably pretty similar in surface
yeah,
area
yeah.
behind the back foot as a hovercraft.
But it's a slightly softer construction than a hover. And this board again is so accessible. Every shop carries these, and it is uber versatile. But just the shovel on that one, the nose, the front end on that one, when you stand on it, it feels like this big old board in front of you, and it's just effortless in POW. So that has to be mentioned.
I
We had to talk
think
about that.
that's the key thing, is that it's effortless in POW. So
Yeah,
it-
that board
the,
is-
the hover is really easy to ride, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, you could do, it's super forgiving, the Mind Expander. Like, you could make any mistake, do anything, and it's just going to be there for you.
And I think where we fought is the advanced rider's probably going to gravitate to the hover. The intermediate plus rider maybe is going to gravitate to the Mind Expander.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's where that one felt in, but we had to mention it. Now, the other thing we had to talk about, and Fozzie and I had a good dust up about this earlier too, because it was, he's like, well, POW boards are a real POW board is this, and we're about to talk about it, and I'm like, you're right, but it's not necessarily accessible or harder to find, or it's so dedicated to powder.
That it's useless for anything else.
Right,
Yeah.
but it is
Winter Stick Swallowtail.
Yeah, which is the big daddy of POW boards, in my opinion. He has a beautiful 180, this red
183.
183.
Yeah, black and red.
When that board comes out, I know it's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Like when Fozzie's bringing that out, we know the forecast is on point, and it's going to be. But that is a dedicated powder board.
Yeah, I mean, and it's terrible out of the POW. Even after lunch, you know, like even after lunch at the resort, when things are starting to get tracked up. So I bring that board and I bring the other board with me and I leave it at the base of the lift. So at a certain point, I'm like, okay, it's a little too tracked out now, and I'll switch to, you know, one of these, you know, top 5 boards. Usually I'll have one of those on hand. But this thing's unbelievable.
The taper's insane. What is it?
Oh, it's in like
40
inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, more. Yeah, more than
probably
40.
talking 60.
Yeah, it's probably 60 mils of taper on it.
True swallow,
The side
too.
cut doesn't even start until just about the front foot. So everything
Yeah,
in
it just
front
arcs in.
and including the front foot is just this big, and the wide spots right in front of or at the front foot. Deep swallow, super twisty. So 183, you're like, oh, that must be tricky to manage. It's got such a tight turning radius in the POW. It's unbelievable.
I love watching you ride
They got that
thing,
board
man.
right in in 1977. It's barely any different. The
So true.
construction a little bit. Winterstick still makes them. Westcott's gone in and just updated a few things, but kept all the characteristics. It's also Rob Kingwell. Shout out to Rob Kingwell. His favorite board on those big days. Every once in a while, Nelson and Jackson get nuked at the same time. And if it's a really good one, Winterstick's really proud to be like, Fawcett and Kinger are both out on their swallies. So
No, that's a brand that just deserves a shout out all the time. When we started Tribute, Winterstick was one of our very first brands we picked up. Remember the old Wasatch they used to do and all those great boards. So I got a lot of love for that brand. And that Swallowtail is still the king of the hill when it comes to power riding.
Like,
it really is.
Yeah, and again, it's not for every day. It's got to be, you know.
This is part of your quiver of 5 boards.
Yeah, it
type
is not.
thing.
You do not want to have that as your only snowboard for sure.
definitely
But if
not.
you're gonna have, if you know it's gonna be one of those like real deal best POW days of your life, that thing is the one you want to be on.
So if we were doing a true powder episode and only talking powder boards, well, of course, there's 4 or 5 specifically like that board.
Yep.
But we wanted to do accessible powder boards that all of us can purchase, easy to find, and that are going to be great if that's the only board you buy for the season.
Yes.
So hopefully you guys agree with us. If not, I want to see below. What did we miss? What do you think we're missing? And as always, we're brought to you by Cole. We're brought to you by BALDFACE Lodge. We both wear SkyLine outerwear. We're brought to you by James Brand Knives, which is always in the pocket here. We are brought to you by This Is Coffee. We have our sister shop, SANCTION Snow. And who am I missing?
Tribute Board Shop.
We're right below Tribute Board Shop. I always forget my own shop, of course. Yeah, guys. So, Fawcett, anything in closing? It's snowing here.
It's snowing. Let's get your POW sticks ready and hop on.
Yeah, it's coming, guys. So lots more episodes coming down the pipe. We'll see you on the next one.